unity. Let's bring in right now one of the hosts of that unity meeting, Sean Spicer, Chief Strategist and Communications Director for the RNC. Sean, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
You bet. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. So what is the RNC's role in Thursday's meeting?
I think Chairman Priebus has a good relationship with both individuals and wants to facilitate this meeting of the minds so that we can continue to unify our party and go on to Clinton. Look, I think all of us believe that this thing was going to go to June 7th at the very earliest and potentially an open convention. Mr. Trump wrapped this up, as you noted, last Tuesday. We've spent the last 7 days as people in the party came to that realization and are now coming together to make sure that we're a unified ticket. Contrast that with the Democrats, who are frankly, there's a big chance that Bernie Sanders is going to win West Virginia and continue to have a really good May, drag this thing out by all accounts at least till June, if not into an open convention on the Democratic side. So the good news for our party is, because we ended soon, we have an opportunity to unify quicker and to move on to the general and focus all of our resources on defeating whoever the Democrats choose as their nominee.
Just how you planned it all along, Sean Spicer. So that's the meeting on Thursday. Let's talk about the meeting yesterday, the one that you were right in the middle of, reportedly, with Donald Trump emissaries, reportedly, talking about ways to work out fundraising going forward for the general election, reportedly. What can you tell us about what happened behind closed doors there and what the status is of your fundraising agreement?
Well, again, I think that was not exactly an accurate report of what happened. Frankly, it was a briefing. We sat down with members of the Trump campaign to go over the assets and the capabilities that the Republican National Committee has ready for the general election. And so, as you guys know, you've heard me talk about this before under Chairman Reince Priebus, after 2012, he ensured that we put all of our money into people and the data. We wanted to make sure that the Trump campaign fully understood what the RNC has been doing with its resources to make sure that we're prepared as ever before to win a general election and to make sure the nominee has all the resources and the capabilities to defeat whoever the Democrats put up, whether it's Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. And so that's an evaluation of here's what our political ground game looks like. Here's why they were so successful in 2014 and why they're going to go on in 2016 to win. Here's what the data and the digital operation is. Here's what the communications and the opposition research file look like. It was a very high understanding of what the RNC has been doing, what the capabilities are, to make sure that they understand how well prepared, well resourced, and well staffed the RNC is under this chairman.
Well prepared and well staffed, but the fact that you're having this briefing, this evaluation with the Trump campaign now, is this a late start for you?
Not at all. We had a very similar briefing with the Romney campaign 4 years ago, and frankly, I think we're off about 8 days. So Mitt Romney was the presumptive nominee on April 25th. Donald Trump was the presumptive nominee on May 3rd. We're about 8 days off of where we were. The upside of all of this is, frankly, that the RNC in 2012, Chairman Priebus spent most of his time trying to dig the RNC out of debt and to make sure that we were the best prepared we could. But frankly, the RNC of today, if we had the RNC today, the staff, the equipment, the data, and the resources in 2012, there's no doubt in my mind or Chairman Priebus's mind that Mitt Romney would be president. So the good news is that we're about 8 days off of where we were, but the RNC is so well resourced right now and so well staffed that frankly we're well ahead of not only where we were, but light years ahead of where the Democrats are. As you know, the Democratic National Committee is functionally broke. They have no staff, they have no resources, and it's been a source of great contention for the Clinton campaign because you've got an incumbent a DNC that has an incumbent White House that has no money, that doesn't have the resources that they need, and it frankly doesn't offer anything to their nominee, whereas in stark contrast to us, they're able to offer the staffing, the ground game, the data, digital operation, the opposition research. We're ready to go. We've been focused on the general election now for 4 years, and I think that's going to be a great hand up to the nominee.
Sean, there's this notion out there that Reince Priebus wants Donald Trump to sign on, broadly speaking, to the Republican Party platform, which I understand doesn't exist yet until the convention. But what ideas are they specifically that you think it would be beneficial for Trump to officially sign on to or publicly endorse?
What the chairman's talking about is the process. Again, going back to what I said a few minutes ago, everyone expected this process to go to June 7th and thought that there would be more time to understand a little bit more in depth as to what Mr. Trump felt on certain issues, what his tax policy was a little bit more, et cetera. And I think what the chairman's talking about is that some of these folks now, that because we've ended this process a lot sooner and been able to focus on the general election, that it would be helpful to, in the case of, like, say, Supreme Court justices, to talk about specifics that he can offer to some of the wings of the party to make sure that they understand what Mr. Trump's thinking is on some of these areas. And
since you mentioned it, are you guys comfortable with Donald Trump's position on tax policy?
Sure. I mean, again, he's going to be the nominee of this party. And again, he's talking about cutting taxes. We don't have prescriptive things in the platform, as you know. I mean, we're a party that believes in smaller government, less taxes.
Right, but when he says that he is comfortable paying more, that he said on ABC that he had a good run under Obama and that he is open to paying more. I know that he has tried to clarify that, but when you read his words, he said he's open to paying more.
So, and again, as you noted, he has clarified that statement. So he has clarified exactly what he meant.
You believe that he's only into cutting taxes. He will not be open to raising any taxes.
Well, he's a smart businessman. I think he understands that right now the economy, and people are hurting. He's talked specifically about the middle class and the burden that they've had under this administration and the need to lift it. So I think he clearly understands the concerns that most Americans are feeling right now and frankly, the financial constraints that a lot of them are. Most of them haven't had a raise in a long time, have tight budgets, and I think he understands the plight the middle class in this country is feeling.
All right, Sean Spicer, thanks so much for having with us. Keep us about what's going on behind closed doors as you prepare for the big meeting on Thursday. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
I will. Thanks, guys.